Soft music plays. A cozy kitchen lit by warm lamps. Chef Kitty wakes up from a tiny cushion on the counter, stretches dramatically, yawns loudly, almost falls off the counter. After a long day of sleeping and more sleeping, Chef Kitty is finally awake. His most important mission of the evening, making dinner for Grandma Willow. First, he checks the pantry for ingredients. He finds fresh vegetables, colorful and crisp, perfect for a healthy meal. Next, he carefully washes his paws, ready for proper cooking hygiene. With focused precision, Chef Kitty begins chopping the vegetables. The aroma of fresh ingredients fills the kitchen, promising a delicious dinner. Grandma Willow enters, surprised and delighted by Chef Kitty's culinary efforts.
Chef Kitty, with a tiny apron, ties it, getting wonderfully tangled. He tries on a tall chef hat, but it slips over his eyes, covering his view. With the hat still over his eyes, he bumps right into a kitchen cabinet. Though he can't see clearly, Chef Kitty believes deeply in his cooking skills. He confidently reaches for ingredients, almost knocking over a flour bag. With a determined meow, he starts to mix, creating a cloud of flour. He adds spices with flair, some landing on his nose. Chef Kitty tastes his creation with a hopeful, curious expression. A friend gently guides him, offering a small, helpful suggestion. Together, they celebrate a surprisingly delicious, if unique, meal.
Whiskers the cat sniffs everything in the fridge with a discerning nose. He rejects vegetables dramatically, pawing them away with disdain. With a triumphant "Murrow," he spots a gleaming fish and grabs it. But oh no, the slippery fish drops to the floor and slides away. Whiskers, determined, chases the rolling fish under the kitchen table. A comical struggle ensues as he tries to retrieve it from dusty depths. Finally, he emerges, proudly carrying his slightly dusty but prized catch. Voiceover. Step 1. Secure ingredients. Step 2. Pretend everything is under control.
It was 7 a.m. and Kitty, the chef cat, eyed the cutting board. She declared, "Today we make chaos," with a determined meow. Then Kitty began her signature paw chop technique on the vegetables. Bits of carrot and zucchini flew everywhere, a culinary whirlwind. Every great chef knows presentation is key, a voiceover mused. And Kitty's presentation is unique, the voiceover concluded wryly. Suddenly, a plump red tomato rolled dangerously close to the edge. Kitty watched, mesmerized, as it toppled off in slow motion. It bounced once, twice, before settling perfectly intact on the floor. Kitty shrugged, "My work here is done," and sauntered away.
Whiskers, a playful cat, dreamed of becoming a famous chef. Today was the day he'd try a new, exciting recipe. First, he turned on the stove, a bit of a challenge for tiny paws. Sizzle! The pan sprang to life, making Whiskers jump back, startled. Next, he confidently tossed colorful vegetables into the pan. Oops! Half of them missed and scattered across the floor. Cooking is all about confidence, a voiceover advised. Even if half your dinner escapes, the voice continued, reassuringly. With newfound confidence, Whiskers scooped up the escaped veggies. He learned that every chef, even a cat, starts with a little mess and a lot of heart.
Chef Kitty, with a twinkle in her eye, prepared to stir-fry a mountain of colorful vegetables. She grabbed her trusty wooden spoon, holding it like a mighty sword, ready for culinary battle. With a mighty flourish, she stirred, but her enthusiasm led to an unexpected trajectory. A plump piece of broccoli, defying gravity, found its new home on the kitchen ceiling. Chef Kitty's eyes widened, a look of pure shock on her furry face. What had she done? Then, a mischievous glint returned. She slowly straightened her hat, a new plan forming. She puffed out her chest, then gestured grandly at the ceiling, as if presenting a masterpiece. Voice over. Chef Kitty always adds a personal flair. Sometimes that flair also sticks to the ceiling. With a flick of her tail, Chef Kitty resumed stirring, much more carefully this time. Her stir-fry was delicious, proving that even kitchen mishaps can lead to memorable meals.
Whiskers. The cat decides to try making a delicious soup for dinner. He carefully pours in some water, but adds a little too much, overflowing the pot. Next, he starts adding spices, one by one, a bit too generously from each jar. Suddenly, the biggest spice jar slips from his paws and tumbles right into the soup. He cautiously dips a paw in for a taste, hoping it's not as bad as it looks. A tiny taste, and Whiskers immediately gives a dramatic, full-body shiver. He coughs, shakes his head, and looks thoughtfully at the offending pot. The soup is definitely not what he had envisioned, far too potent and overwhelming. He lets out a small sigh, admitting defeat in his grand culinary adventure. Voiceover. Could use less and everything. He decides to try something simpler next time.
A little puff of steam rises from the pot, surprising Cat. Cat jumps back with wide, funny eyes, more surprised than scared. He grabs a small towel and waves it dramatically like a superhero cape. While waving it, the towel flops onto his head, covering his eyes. Cat giggles, fixes the towel, and carefully turns the stove down to low heat. Chef Kitty may get a little carried away, but he always remembers to stay calm. He always finds a way to fix his silly kitchen oopsies.
Chef Whiskers, a perfectionist cat, dreams of winning the golden spatula. His kitchen sparkles with tools. He meticulously follows recipes, measuring every ingredient with scientific precision, leaving no room for error. But his creations, though perfect, lack a certain spark. They're technically flawless, but a bit bland. Patches, his cheerful neighbor, often brings over her messy but delicious treats, full of unexpected flavors. One day, during a baking frenzy, Chef Whiskers accidentally sets off the fire alarm. Panic ensues. Patches rushes in, not to judge, but to help, calmly opening windows and fanning away smoke. As the smoke clears, Chef Whiskers realizes his relentless pursuit of perfection led to stress and near disaster. Patches encourages him to experiment, to enjoy the process, and not fear mistakes. He tries again, this time with a playful spirit, adding a pinch of this and a dash of that, letting his passion guide him. The result is a dish that is imperfectly perfect, bursting with flavor and joy, and no fire alarms.
Chef Kitty prepares her latest culinary creation with great care. She places the dish on a small, elegantly set dining table. With a dramatic flourish, she pulls up a miniature chair. She takes a moment, inhaling the delicious aroma. Then, she takes a slow, dramatic first bite. Her tail begins to wag, a clear sign of happiness. A look of pure joy spreads across her face. She gives a proud nod, approving her masterpiece, another culinary masterpiece by the amazing Chef Kitty. Chef Kitty basks in the glow of her delicious success.
Chef Kitty dreams of adventures in a grand kitchen filled with yummy smells. He imagines kneading dough with his paws, ready to bake a delicious treat. Next, he's expertly chopping vegetables, preparing a colorful feast for friends. He stirs a bubbling pot, creating a magical aroma that fills the whole room. He imagines baking cookies that look like stars, twinkling on a tray. He proudly presents his culinary masterpiece to an excited group of animal friends. They all cheer, savoring every delicious bite of his special creation. After the feast, Chef Kitty helps clean up, making everything sparkling clean. Tired but happy, he curls up on a soft chair full of yummy food. Dinner is done, but Chef Kitty sleeps peacefully, dreaming of his next culinary adventure.